Okay. Crash 4 developer Toys for Bob is going indie. Originally, they actually got folded into... Which team in Activision Blizzard did they get folded into? Was this the group that got folded into a team and was helping with like a project? I think this team helped with... Am I wrong? I better fact check myself after this, because like I remember when Diablo was coming out or some game was coming out, they needed assistance.
I think you might be. That sounds vaguely familiar to me as well. Yeah, maybe you might be right about that.
They said, "Okay, Crash team, we need you to go help with some Blizzard projects or something like that," and then they decided to they jumped this team into like a Diablo project or something. And now this team is getting... I'm glad they are, by the way. I like the Crash games that came out. So I'm glad they are.
They made the Crash remake, like the remake.
Yep.
And the Spyro remake, and then Crash 4. And
then Crash 4. And I like those games. Crash 4 I actually didn't play, but I like those games. So I'm glad they broke free. I actually like that. They do good work. I'm excited to see what they do on their own, because they do good work. I noticed in this thing, by the way, it says we learned this morning that Saber Interactive, I don't know who they are, but and Gearbox are reportedly breaking free of Embracer Group. That was interesting. I didn't know Gearbox was in Embracer Group.
Me neither.
Yeah, that was interesting. Embracer Group is like this.
Good. Embracer Group fucking sucks.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Maybe
that'll help. Maybe that'll help Gearbox. I don't know. Gearbox is... I don't know. They still do good work, but they're kind of weird lately. I don't know. The studio announced Toys for Bob would be spinning off into indie development in an effort to return to its roots. And they just talk about, how this is an exciting opportunity for them. They can bring enthusiasm and passion into their future projects, which that's what we want. I want.
Yep. We don't want Big Daddy Activision telling you what to make and you don't have any passion for it, right? Like,
they also added, Toys for Bob goes on to state that it's currently exploring a possible partnership between our new studio and Microsoft, and adds that both Microsoft and Activision are extremely supportive of its new direction. I think that would be great if it's an indie studio that partners with Microsoft for stuff. I think that works.
Yeah.
I think that works just fine. Because like maybe they actually do really like the Crash games, and they're just like, we just want to focus on making more Crash games and Spyro games and things like that. But we understand, like, Microsoft, it's your IP technically, so can we just make more of those and we partner with you for that? That would be great. It says 86 employees were let go earlier this year. That was part of the Xbox layoffs. So I think this is great. I liked the Crash remakes. I think they did a great job with those. I didn't play Spyro Reignited, but I thought they did a good job with their projects. I'm glad to see them going indie, so they can do stuff that they're really passionate about. And if they're really passionate about Spyro, that's great. And Crash, that's great. They should partner with Microsoft and just... They get to be an indie studio focusing on that, and then when they're ready to make their own IP, they can do that. So, I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like seeing studios who at one point made great games and then kind of got folded into the... I mean, they were always like under Activision, because Activision had those IPs before, but like, I don't know. It felt like they got, folded into doing Activision's dirty work, basically.
They had to help
making stuff that they actually wanted to make, and then you like to see them breaking free and kind of getting to make what they want again.
It might have been... I might have remembered Toys for Bob. Was it Warcraft? Did they help with?
I don't remember.
Toys for Bob. There was a Blizzard project that they were helping with, and I'm scared to think, but I think it was Warcraft. It might have been Warcraft, the Reforged project from some time ago.
That was years ago.
That was years ago, I know, but it was either that or Diablo. I couldn't remember. Diablo makes the most sense.
Diablo makes way more sense.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
Warcraft 3 Reforged was just...
That was some time ago, and it was terrible.
It was doggy doo doo. Like,
Yeah, I think it was terrible. I have a hard time believing that. So probably Diablo 4. Anyway, or Diablo 2 remastered, or that one.
oh yeah.
Okay, just to round things out from the news, we had a Pokemon Presents earlier this week. I'm gonna skip ahead because they're talking about some stuff here. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. There was some stuff for Pokemon Go and things like that. There was like a Pokemon Sleep thing. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead some stuff because, like, they mentioned like, okay, there's something for Pokemon Masters, like Pokemon Masters has an audience.
All their mobile games are getting, continuing to be updated.
Right.
And stuff like that. It's whatever. Unite, Masters,
Cafe,
Sleep, Go. I'm sure they're all getting
Unite. So they talked about Unite. Unite's getting I forgot what this one's called. Whatever one this one is. Here we go. Maybe they'll mention it in here. They should have the name, right?
So we're getting some Scarlet.
You can, yep. Scarlet and Violet Pokemon, more of them, and then Phalanx getting in there. So obviously, like, Pokemon Unite I think Pokemon Unite has a pretty significant community. Then they had this. So it's a trading card app where you open packs and you can trade them, but only on your phone or your mobile device, I should say. So you collect the cards on your mobile device and then you can trade them. You get free packs every day. I don't know if you can buy any. They didn't say.
I'm sure you can.
And then you trade them with other people. I'm not... Oh, do you get to, like, actually play against other people? I didn't even see that part. Oh, quick battles. Yeah, you can do quick battles. Okay.
Oh, it's just like a mobile version of Pokemon trading card game. Got it. Like...
Yeah. So new Pokemon trading card game experience. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I think it could work. I'd love to see, like, the full setup for it. Like, can you buy packs? I assume yes, but you get 2 packs every day, it says. Also, is it... Oh, open 2 packs per day at no cost, which is nice. Coming 2024, so not out yet. That could work. I think it could work.
Yeah, it could.
I'm not sure how well it's going to work, though. That's my thought. I'm not sure if it's going to work out that well. We then had one more thing here. Here it is. The big one at the very end of the presentation is a Pokemon Legends game set in the I don't even remember the region, but it's the X and Y region. It's X and Y region.
Kalos.
Kalos? Okay. So you're in Kalos, Pokemon Legends, before the big city that's in the game is built. This is obviously, like, they had, like, that urban development plan thing there. So this is before the city gets built. And this one is called Pokemon Legends Z. See, they were saving it. They had X and Y, and they were saving it.
Z to A.
Oh, no. I thought it was just Z. What?
It's Z to A.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much more now. I hate it so much more. I was thinking it was just Pokemon Z. And... Hold on. We have over, under, 5... Is this... When Switch 2 coming out? Is this coming out when the Switch 2 is coming out? That's important.
This is not coming out till next year. They said it's not coming out this year.
Yeah, so is Switch 2 coming out?
Or simultaneously worldwide. And I saw a thing somewhere. I don't see it in this trailer. Maybe it was like a tweet where it said, "Coming to Nintendo Switch systems, plural,
Yes.
in 2025."
So,
like, oh, so it's gonna come to the it'll be on the regular Switch. There's no way they're gonna make it exclusive to the new Switch. But that like just about. I mean, maybe I'm misremembering or I'm putting stuff that wasn't there, but
Mhm.
I feel like I remember seeing Nintendo Switch systems plural,
Yeah.
implying that it's. I would guess this is gonna be a launch title for the
For the Switch
Nintendo
2.
Switch
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
Because you gotta sell it. I
And
mean,
the rumor right now is that it's gonna come out early next year in like March or something like that.
so about the 5 FPS combat. I think if this comes out on Switch 2, I think it'll be 30 frames per second. I think it'll be 30.
It's gonna be
I think
dog on Switch. It's gonna be dog on Switch.
On Switch, I think it's going to be one of the worst. I think it's going to be a really poorly optimized game on Switch. I think it's going to be just like Scarlet and Violet on release. I think it's going to look really bad.
Or Legends Arceus.
Legends Arceus, I don't know how bad. I didn't play it. I don't know how bad it looked, but
it doesn't look good. It's better than.
It's better than Scarlet and Violet, I think.
But it's not good. Like.
I think if this was only Switch, like only regular Switch, I feel like it's gonna look awful. And the thing is, I know it's gonna look awful because Game Freak knows they don't have to try. So if this is on Switch 2, though, I think Switch 2 will be 30 frames per second. I don't think it'll get to 60. I would be pleasantly surprised if it was 60. I think it'll be like 30. I think it'll look fine. I'm going to guess the environment's going to look okay. But the problem is, like, I mean, Scarlet and Violet, every time I remember that game, all I remember is not just the windmills, but everything was just like, every time I looked at it, like, this is like an Xbox 360 game. Not even an Xbox 360 game. Like, it's kind of frustrating because, like, we know the Switch can do like things to the best of its ability and make it look pretty nice. Like, Breath of the Wild looks nice. We've seen Xenoblade. Xenoblade looks nice.
Xenoblade 2 and 3.
We've seen Xenoblade. You know, we've seen games on Switch that look pretty good. They look good. But for whatever reason, Scarlet and Violet, every time I think about it, Scarlet and Violet, like, whenever we went into a town, it was like 5 frames per second.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's 2023. We should not be the kids kicking under the desk.
That's the worst. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
I was like, I cannot. This looks like a PlayStation game. What? This is a PlayStation 1 game at this point.
How did this like go? How did this like actually go through? Like, how did they actually release this doo-doo?
Because they know they can. Like, it's gonna sell no matter what.
I know.
So that's why I don't think it's gonna look very good. I don't think it's gonna look good.
We'll see. I mean,
they can sell dog water.
It's the interesting thing also about this Pokemon Presents and this announcement at the end is that, at least, I suppose they didn't confirm it, but this basically shows that there's not going to be a major Pokemon release this year.
No.
Which would be the first year in a long time that they did not have a major Pokemon release.
Yep. They're taking a full year off. Yeah, I noticed that too.
Which is crazy. And last year, I mean, there was just the DLC was like pretty big for Scarlet and Violet, but they just did DLC for Scarlet and Violet. So
yeah, they did the 2. Which, depending on who you talk to, wasn't necessarily received as well as they would have hoped.
I mean, if you love Scarlet and Violet, like, they added more Pokemon to the game. There's more makes
right.
You know,
you'll like it.
New areas, more stuff to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
you'll like it.
If you like the base of what Scarlet and Violet is, then the DLC is fine.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, of course. No.
The story was like pretty bad from what I heard, but you know. Whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, if this on Switch 2, if this is a launch title for Switch 2, I think this will look okay on Switch 2. I'm also curious, like, yeah, I'd be very curious just to hear about if this is coming out Switch 2, if this is one of those launch titles. If it's not coming out for Switch 2, I think it's going to look horrible. I really don't have a lot of confidence in Game Freak right now.
No.
I mean, they went from Legends, which I actually thought Legends was a good step for them. And then it feels like in Scarlet and Violet they went backwards a little.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how'd you go backwards? So I have like very little confidence in their ability to make a game that looks like a game that should have come out this year. I fully expect the frame rate to be horrible. I fully expect
I mean,
really poor animations.
hopefully they can make a game that looks like it came out 10 years ago instead of a game that came out 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Like,
and
let's just
this is going to lead me into my topics after the game news. I think one of the it's hard to compare, so I won't say anything, but like sometimes I play games that are really old, and then I'm just thinking about Scarlet and Violet, and I'm like, it's really frustrating that Game Freak is like able to capitalize on what I would consider, from the presentation side, absolute dog shit.
Yeah,
Some of the
it's
worst
one
presentation.
it's like the worst looking and like worst performing game on the Switch.
It's
actual vaporware for like a AAA like mainline Nintendo series like title. It's the worst. It's the worst.
For like the best-selling franchise in game history, Pokemon. Yep. To get the presentation that I saw in Scarlet and Violet, I know there are defenders, by the way. They're like, oh, the frame rate's not that bad. No.
It's bad.
I'm just gonna say how it is. It was dog shit. It was the worst presentation I've ever seen, considering the game sells 20-some million copies. And I'll talk about my topics too. Like, I played Halo 2 because I was watching some videos on it. I was like, I kind of want to try playing this again. You play Halo 2? Halo 2 just looks so much better. I boot up Halo 2. I know it's hard to compare it, but Halo 2 came out like how long ago? Like a long time ago. Like
maybe even it might have been 2000. It was either 2003 or 2004, I think.
Was it? Because 20 years ago?
Xbox. It was an Xbox.
Yeah, it was an Xbox game.
Not even a 360. Because 360 came out in. Oh, maybe it was 2005.
Yeah.
Let me just.
I'm playing the Master Chief collection version, so
so that's
it's probably enhanced.
November 9th, 2004. The original Halo 2.
It's probably enhanced. I get it, and I'm playing on a computer. I get it, but like.
Yeah, the Master Chief version is they upped it for Halo 2.
But man, I play that game and then I think of Scarlet and Violet. I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow. The difference is wild. Thinking about it and seeing it, you're like, man, I mean, like, it's not like they remade Halo 2. It's just like they buffed it up a little, right? They buffed it up. They didn't remake the game.
They didn't remake the entire game, but they did significant work on like. It's not like they just up-resed it. Like I think they redid some of the like the textures and the assets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I play that and I'm just like, wow, this looks so much better than what I remember of Scarlet and Violet. I'm like, man, if only we could have like half of this. I'm like, we can't even get half of this experience in Scarlet and Violet. And I'm like, it's really frustrating. So yeah, I think the presentation of this game is going to be dog water. There's going to be no voice acting. We'll probably hit, if we're lucky, we'll get 30 frames per second. If this is like on Switch 1 only, we'll probably get into like a bigger village, and it's going to be like 5 to 10 frames per second. I hope they do the same thing that they did with Legends and Scarlet and Violet, where you can see the Pokemon in the open world and catch them and all that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to continue doing that. I think they'd be silly to not continue doing that.
I'm hungry for Power World graphics in Pokemon. That's what I'm hungry for.
That game doesn't even look that great. It looks okay, but like,
Power World
looks pretty good. It's pretty good. It's way better than Pokemon.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks like a video game that came out relatively soon.
I'm not telling you it looks bad. I'm not telling you it looks bad or anything, but it's not like top.
No, of course not.
Graphics or anything.
No, of course not.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's not like crazy good, but it looks.
But like
exponent hundreds of times better than Pokemon.
But I look at the pals and I'm like, oh yeah, these look great. these look great. This is perfect. I'm hungry for Power World graphics in Pokemon. And again, that's not even top of the line. So that's what I'm hungry for. I'm like, okay, can we, and this is also making me, I'm hungry for Nintendo to just put Pokemon on PC. I'm hungry for it. I'm so hungry. It's never going to happen. But I'm so ready for the day to come where I can play Pokemon in like really crisp 60 frames per second open world. It's never gonna happen. But I said I'm hungry for it. I'm hungry, and I'm probably gonna starve. But I mean, like that's what I want. So I think this game's presentation is going to be absolutely atrocious, though.
You would literally have to burn Nintendo to the ground for that to happen.
I know. Yeah. When are they going to put voice acting in these games? That's what I'm waiting for, too. When are they going to put voice acting in
That's the thing I want. I want, like, the graphics and the performance to improve to make it look like a game that came out, like, you know, in the last 10 years at least. And can we, God, please put voice acting in the fucking game.
Please put it in the game. It pisses me off. It's pissing me off that they don't put voice acting in these games. I'm like, you have the money for it. You have money. Just put a little bit of investment into it. Just invest a little. I don't need Matt Mercer. I need just something. I need something. It's like the Scarlet Violet opening speech thing was
the sword and shield. That was sword and shield.
No, that was sword and shield. But in like Scarlet Violet, when the president's like go off on your adventure, and it's just
yeah.
Like fuck this. Like fuck this. Come on.
I mean, beginning of Sword and Shield is where it killed me, because the literal intro of Sword and Shield, where the
Leon guy
the president in
the
that
president.
game is like, it's like this big stadium, and he's like, and you know, he's exclaiming about these like grand like Pokemon battles, and tournament and like whatever, and it's just
you're like, bro, this isn't the Super Nintendo. We can do voice acting. We figured it out.
We have the technology.
We figured out how to do voice acting. You can do it. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
The production value in Pokemon is fucking embarrassing for how much
it is.
They make.
It's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. They even gave and put VA in Zelda when they know they didn't want to. Yeah, I mean, like, they put some in Zelda. Yeah, they put some in Zelda. And Zelda's voice, by the way, the voice acting Zelda, it's not like it's top tier or anything either. It's not like it's top tier. But, like, it's nice. But it's nice to have. Anyway, I have nothing else. I'll just end with, it depends on which console this comes out. If this is on Switch 2, and I'm able to see like how it looks on Switch 2, sure, I'll give it a try, like, for sure.
I mean,
I just don't know if I want to invest in another, like, my eyes are bleeding.
That it's gonna come out early next year, and it's gonna be a launch title for Switch 2, but it will also be on Switch 1, and the Switch 1 version is gonna be dog shit.
It's gonna be terrible. Like, it's gonna be so bad.
Either that, or since they have to make so many, sacrifices to keep it on Switch 1, that like the Switch 2 version is still not going to look good. It'll run a lot better, I would hope, but like it's still not going to look that good because they have to force it to be on Switch 1 as well. And then like, yeah, I don't know. Like,
Matt Mercer was gammed over tears. Yeah, like I don't even expect that. Anyway, yeah, I hope it is a launch time for Switch 2. I would be very interested to see how it looks on a Switch 2. I would be super interested, because then I'd be like, okay, maybe we have hope for improved performance. Anyway, that was all the news we had. I do have a non-news item that I'll just lump into topics. So let me just do that here. So I'm just going to start because I don't actually have a lot to say this week. I was looking at Suicide Squad again, and I was looking at the numbers. I saw something that said, it was this morning when I was waking up, Suicide Squad on Amazon, I believe. Let me just double check this. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Let's just do this one. So Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I don't know the PlayStation one, but I pulled up Xbox for now. It is on a $20 discount. if you look right now, if you want the Xbox Series X version on Amazon, you can get it, the physical copy, sorry. You can get it for $50. The digital copy, I don't think has the discount.
Yeah,
So,
it's still way too much.
But it's still way too much.
I'd maybe pay $10 for this game.
No, I understand. I understand that. I got it. Trust me. $20 off is not enough. But my point is, it's been 30 days now. This marks 30 days. I think, yes.
Right.
So they have a $20 discount in 30 days, which I don't know what's normal for discounting on games after release, but that seems pretty quick to me to throw a $20 discount already. If you look at the numbers that I've pulled up on the screen, the numbers have really trailed off, and I'm guessing the servers were down or something at this point, so I'm going to ignore that. But here, if you look at the peak hours, let's just take yesterday, for example. Yesterday was a Friday night. Friday night peak was 585. Okay?
Not good.
Yeah. I watched a video of somebody reviewing Suicide Squad, and it was recent. It was within the last week. He was trying to open a public lobby. He couldn't get anybody to join his public lobby to play this game. And he had it open for a while, he said. He was like an hour or two. Because he was making a video reviewing Suicide Squad and talking about some recent issues with the game after an update. He's like, I can't get anybody to play with me. Like, nobody wants to play with me. Nobody is coming into my public lobby. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know if that's indicative of nobody wants to play with other people, if they just want a single player experience right now. But it's pretty bad. You're 30 days out, and the players that are playing the game don't even want to jump in other people's public lobbies. 585 people peak is really bad. It did have on Sunday 900, and Saturday last week 900. I don't know if it's going to get to 900 again. I mean, I'm looking at the peak now, and it's still hovering at about 640. Maybe it gets a little bit higher.
It's climbing a little bit.
It is climbing a little bit. But I'm like, really? I don't know when the DLC is coming out for this game too, but it needs it badly.
I don't think it matters.
It needs it badly.
You may get back to 1,000 with the DLC, but
but it needs it badly. Like, this game badly needs it. It's desperate. It's a desperate game. I think in the next 30 days.
It's not even desperate. It's already dead.
Let me finish.
It bled out.
It's already dead to me. I got it. Trust me. I got it. In the next 30 days, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a bigger discount. It's probably going to get to 50%. You're probably going to see 50% off. And then I think this is a Game Pass game pretty soon. I think they're going to go Game Pass.
Probably.
Game Pass, whatever else. This is like, so probably the last time I'll touch on Suicide Squad, just because I keep getting some articles about it, so I keep reading about it, and they're like, okay, this DLC's coming. Like, there was something I read where they're actually pushing off like a patch so they can focus on getting the DLC out, which is like screaming desperation. So very interesting to like check on the trajectory of this. I'm just like, at this point, kind of like, hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen like with Rocksteady too. I have no idea what's going to happen with Rocksteady. I'm worried that Rocksteady's going to get like, my biggest worry is Rocksteady, they're going to be like, we're going to shut you down. That's my biggest concern, because that is a good team.
Well, I mean, a lot of the I don't know about a lot, but I know like the founders and some of the big people of Rocksteady left a while ago and started on like another
yeah
studio,
so like that team has had a history of making good games that like somewhat shaped a genre. Batman, the Arkham series, that was like a genre in and of itself. We got from that like Shadow of War, Mordor and War, like that's a very similar type of game. we see games now that do similar things to the Arkham series. So it's really just kind of too bad. I think is where I'm landing on this.
I
It's
mean,
too bad that they spent
it is.
9 whatever years on this thing.
I mean, this is what happens. I mean, these companies won't learn this lesson, but they chase trends. They're like,
Yep.
WB is like, all right, we need our big moneymaker live service game. Rocksteady, you're one of our best studios. Make us a live service game, even though you don't make looter shooters and you don't make these
that.
types of games.
Yeah.
You make single player action adventure open world single player
Right.
Batman games. But yeah, just make me a live service game, and
Right.
this is what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was my that was part of my topic. Just
These
like
companies chase that trend and they try to make the big bucks, and they take a great studio and grind it into the ground and
Right.
may make a shitty game, and then they flop, and then it flops, and
you can chase a trend if you want, but if it's not within your wheelhouse, like your expertise area, it might be tough. It might be really tough. Like I could see myself, like for example,